Is with me here on MLB Tonight. So here's where I want to go. Since the show is on Thursday night, we've got time to change the list. We do not know the list. We have no idea who's on the list. But we have a research department made up of some of the smartest people in the world. Yep. At least they remind us that they are.
They are.
And they work hard to put this list together. So I just was texting with some of the people that are in our research department about what attributes they consider. And what I want to do is read off some of these attributes, and then I want you to hone into the 5 most. Okay. Like if you were going to put a list together of the top 100 players, these would be the 5 most important things. Here are just some of the things that they texted me. Prospect rank, projection, career accolades, defensive prowess or lack thereof, starting pitching dominance, hence strikeouts, reliever dominance, power at the plate, batting average, durability, 2024 season performance, the last 3 years performance, 2024 postseason performance, position change, base running, and age. A lot of things.
There's a lot of stuff going on there, yeah.
So if you were going to talk about 5 of those attributes, where would you be?
Well, if you're talking about the top 100 right now, you got to start with what's going on right now. How did you do in 2024? Your performance in 2024.
That's the most important
season performance. I think so. I think it matters. What are you doing right now? How do you look? How are you aging? All that stuff. So that the performance.
More than the last 3 years?
For this list, yes.
Really?
This list, I think yes.
Even though we've seen flash in the pans before. Guys have had a great breakout year.
It's top 100 right now, not top 100 3 years ago and 2 years ago.
I like that. It's good. That's honesty. Okay. So it's 2024 performance. Give me another attribute that you want our research department to consider when putting this list together.
Projection. I think you have to look at some of the guys that might have come up, like a James Wood. That's exactly what I was thinking of. I don't know if he's on the top 100, but I have to think he is for the projection of what he looks like and how good he is. Just a lot of the young kids, a Jackson Holiday, a Jared Jones. I mean, some of these guys that are young kids, Pete Crow Armstrong, you have to project and look at these guys and go, wow, this guy's a chance to be one of the top in the game.
So even though they haven't put it together for a full 162, you're okay with that if you believe in the talent and you're projecting that they will do it this year?
Yes. They've put together enough for me to go, there's going to be a huge year this year.
Okay, so we've got 2024 performance. We've got projection. Give me another attribute.
I think durability is a big one. Are you playing games? Are you out there, are you getting 140-plus games? Because that means you're putting up numbers. So I think durability is a big thing. I mean, obviously, when you're talking about players right now, I think durability is a skill. Being able to be in the game. Marcus Semien banged up a little bit, plays every day. Pete Alonso played 162 last year. Matt Olson plays close to 162 every single year. I mean, these guys that are out there doing it night in and night out, they get an extra check mark from me.
So there's got to be a flip side to that, right? So Byron Buxton's going to get penalized, right? Tyler Glasnow is going to get penalized. Yeah. There are players that have an issue. They're immensely talented.
They can't stay healthy.
And it's hard to project that they will be durable if they don't have the track record of it.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, so durability, 2024 performance, projection, give me another attribute.
You know what? I put this one in there because you and I had talked about it a few years ago when Joey Galloway was hitting below 200. I like the batting average shows me as a player that is out there every day. Obviously, it doesn't have to be Luis Ariz, but a batting average shows me consistency. How consistent are you out there? I mean, like I said, when I look at some of the best players in the game, when you talk about, your Aaron Judges and Ohtani, these guys, they're all hitting close to 300. I'm not saying, obviously, every top 100 guy is going to do that, but you have to have a respectable batting average to be on the top 100 list. You can't just be hitting a $180 with some home runs and they go, hey, he's hitting a $180.
I have a feeling you're going to be upset with the first installment. I don't know the list, but just based on the way the young people that work in our research department view it, they are very current. And how front offices view analytics and certain metrics, I don't know if they're going to drink this Kool-Aid.
They're probably not. But I tell you what, if batting average shows you how consistent you are night in and night out.
Put some ice in that Kool-Aid. I'll drink all that. I love a good batting average. All right, give me one more attribute that you really hope our research department.
You got to have the mix. You got to have a decent batting average, and you got to hit for power. For the guys that are on the list that are the bats, you got to have big time power. You got to be a run producer, and I think for the pitchers, I put it in there too. Like power, you got to have power. The power arms are the guys that are going to be in this top 100. There's no doubt about it. So you talk about the pitchers and the hitters, both of the power people will be in this top 100.
They will be, or you want them to be?
I want them to be.
Okay.
I want them to be.
All right.
Because I feel like the power elevates you to be one of the top players in the game.
All right.
And that's what the stat guys want, and that's what the people want, Greg.
Yeah, everyone likes to watch a homer. Other than me, by the way. Give me a 1-0 shutout or a guy stole home any day of the week. That would be my perfect baseball game.
Nah.
Yes. What are you talking?
Give me it every once in a while.
This guy.
Give me this guy hitting bombs every night.
This guy wears many hats. He's on. My mental strength coach, I've been told, is Dr. Sean Casey. Welcome back, everyone. We're going to play pretend because this close to spring training can be a grind mentally for certain players who struggled. We're going to walk you through some of the exercises to get over the hump. I'm going to play pretend that I'm a center fielder 2 years into the big leagues. Last year, I really struggled, and I'm meeting for the first time 2 weeks before spring training with my mental strength coach, and that would be Dr. Sean Casey. So here we go. Dr. Greg Amsinger, very nice to meet you.
Hey, welcome, Greg. Come on in.
Thanks for getting me in.
It's great
I know you've got a lot of...
Great to have you here, man.
So this is odd. Can I be honest with you?
Yeah.
I don't even know why I need a mental strength coach.
That's what everybody says, right? I mean, 90% of this game is mental, Greg. 90% is mental. And this is going to be the most important conversation you have, more important than your hitting coach, more important than any other coach you have.
Really?
Yes, because I'm your game time coach. I'm the guy that's going to get your mind right when you're in the batter's box, because guess what? When you're in this batter's box, Greg, no one can help you but yourself. I'm going to get your thoughts aligned with what you're going to need during the game.
Well, I got to be honest with you. We're 2 weeks away. I'm actually nervous. I'm scrambling. I'm taking 400 swings a day, but I'm nervous for spring training, Doc. I am.
That's great, man. That's great, because the best part about being nervous is the same part of your brain that says you're nervous is the same part of your brain that says you're excited. So what I want you to do is change your perspective. Change your perspective on how you see things. As human beings, we make up stories all the time. Usually one that serves us, one that doesn't serve us. I want you to have a story that serves you. So when you come to spring training, I mean, you're excited to be there. You're fired up. Let's go.
So what you're saying is I'm telling myself a negative story that I'm nervous for spring training right now.
Yes, you are.
That's not telling myself that story.
It's your choice. Your perspective is your choice. And what I want you to do is I want you to say, I'm excited for spring training.
But how can I be excited when I break into the big leagues 2 years ago? I'm the starting center fielder. I have one bad year. They signed a free agent center fielder. So now I feel like I lost my starting spot, and I might not even make the roster. How am I supposed to be excited?
You know what? You should be excited because anyone else doesn't matter. That's just a distraction. You're thinking about other players or what other guys are doing. Comparisons of death and contentment. At the end of the day, you got to lock in. This is the you versus you game, Greg. I need you to become the best version of yourself. I need you to breathe at an elite level, just like a couple guys that I love that do that. Bobby Witt Jr. and Bryce Harper.
Oh, wow.
Two guys that breathe at an elite level. You know why they do that, Greg? Because it gets them into the moment. It slows things down. It gets them present moment focused.
So here's Bobby Witt. You're telling me he breathes at an elite level?
Every pitch, look at that right there. Every pitch, he breathes to reset the moment. The moment never gets too big, and that's all you need to do. Bryce Harper does an incredible job, too. Focal point breathing. They look at the bat, they slow down, they get in the moment. And then after you get your breath, it sets your state. Now you can compete, right? Now I want you to get your three self-talk statements at another level, right? The you versus you mentality. How good can you talk to yourself, and how good can you breathe? There's going to be everything come game time.
Why do I need to change my state if I'm in the batter's box, though? Like, is there something about that moment that could be overwhelming?
Well, here's one of the biggest things, with changing your state. Your central nervous system works in two states. Your sympathetic nervous system, which means that you're in the fight, flight, or freeze, right? You're scared, and most of the time you're in that. It's shallow breathing. You want to get a good breath going so you can get to the parasympathetic, which I like to say, throw yourself a parachute. If you're coming out of that plane, throw yourself a parachute where now it's rest, digest, slow, relax. If you can get your body into that state, Greg, you're going to perform at such an elite level, because you know why? It turns your vision on. And when you turn your vision on, your eyes are connected to your brain. When you turn your vision on, now I'm ready to go and I'm ready to compete at an elite level.
That sounds all fun and good, Doc. It really does. But when I'm sitting at home on my couch watching the World Series and I see Freddie Freeman with a bum ankle in the biggest moment in baseball and the World Series, looking calm, cool, and collected, hitting this grand slam, I'm just sitting there at home going, There's just no way I can handle pressure at that level. I just can't envision myself handling pressure like that at that level.
I love that word pressure, Greg. I love that word pressure. That's why I'm one of the best. I am the coach for you because I want you to look at pressure as this. Pressure is an invention of an undisciplined mind.
Wait, say that one more time.
Pressure is an invention of an undisciplined mind. All that means is that you're making something up. Pressure, if you're prepared and you have a good process, like I talked about, what's your breathing look like? What's your self-talk look like? If you can do that at an elite level, pressure really doesn't even exist. Let me show you what Freddie said after that home run.
We saw Nestor start coming in the game, and I started going over, his pitches, and I watched his at-bats against Shohei. Not my own. I watched his at-bats against Shohei. And I just saw a lot of cutters and sliders away and heaters.
Why Shohei and not your own?
I don't know, just because I wanted to see how he went against Shohei. And when Shohei walks into the box, your back's against the wall. So in that situation, your back is going to be against the wall. So I wanted to see how he was going to attack Shohei. So I was just watching his at-bats. And it was cutters and sliders away with heaters up. And I was like, you know what, I'm going to look a little closer, which is not what I normally do. I'm trying to look out over and hit line drives at shortstop. But I was like, you know what, I'm going to be on time for this heater. I'm going to be on top of the heater, and I'm going to look a little closer so I don't swing
and I'm
at
going to be the hero.
I wasn't thinking that. I was just trying to get a base hit to score those 2 runs. But I was just looking closer because I wanted to just be able to check off the cutter and slider away. And, he threw it right in the lane I was looking in, thankfully. But I was just trying to be on top of the heater and on time because I was getting a lot of heaters from, like, Weaver, and I was just missing them. And I just wanted to be on time and give myself the best chance. And, I had a plan and approach. And usually when you have those, good things happen usually.
He had a plan and an approach.
So good, right?
That's amazing.
So good. His preparation, watching film on Nestor Cortez with Ohtani versus lefties, right? His preparation visually was so good. The protocol was be on time, be on top, right? So that's why preparation plus protocol is always greater than pressure. I think that's one of the biggest things. Did you hear him say, Greg, at all that he was so excited to get that hit the big grand slam?
No.
Did you hear him say anything about my dad was right behind the plate in the front row? I'm so excited he threw me all those balls when I was growing up.
No.
Did you hear him say that this could be one of the biggest moments of my career? I hope I come through.
Not at all.
No, he didn't. You know why he didn't? Because he was locked in to what he needed to do. He was locked into his protocol, his approach, and his plan was get a good deep breath, be on time for the heater, get on top of the baseball, and hunt it a little bit in, and push out the cutter and the slider. It was incredible, and that's why pressure is always an invention of an undisciplined mind.
Unbelievable. So Doc, before I go, this has been an incredible conversation. What should my mindset be for day one of spring training when I walk into the clubhouse? Day one of spring training, when you walk in that clubhouse, I want you to be aggressive, and I want you to have the bring it on mentality. The best players in the game have the bring it on mentality. I want to tell you a quick story, Greg. When I was the hitting coach in 2023 for the New York Yankees, we're out in Baltimore. Anthony Volpe had a nice game, but nothing to show for it. What a great process he had. He was slow. He was hit 4 rockets. And I was in the dugout standing next to Aaron Judge, and I said, the best player on the planet. And I said, hey, Judgy, man, this game is relentless at times. It comes for you every night. Even when you do everything perfect, you still fail. And you know what he looked at me, Greg? You know what he said? You're right, Case. This game is relentless. Bring it on. Oh, my goodness. And when he said that to me, I said, that's an elite mindset. That's a guy that's prepared. That's a guy that knows where he's going when this game gets tough and it gets relentless and it comes for you all the time. That bring it on mentality. Stay aggressive. I'm coming back for you. This game's coming for me. I'm coming right back for you. I'm ready for spring training now. Woo! Man, we all need a mental strength coach. Thank you, Doc. It'll be a great year for you, Greg.
まさにこれこそが野球の醍醐味ではないでしょうか。この試合はただの勝利ではなく、チームの結束力、そして一人一人の努力が生み出した最高の瞬間でした。試合終了の瞬間、選手たちの表情には達成感と歓喜があふれ、ファンの皆さんの歓声とともに球場全体が一体となりました。これは数字や記録では測れない魂の勝利です。特に今日の試合では、選手たちの一瞬一瞬の判断が試合の流れを左右しました。先発投手の圧巻の投球、リリーフ陣の鉄壁の守備、そして打線の爆発力、それぞれが自分の役割を全うし、まるで完璧に組み合わさったパズルのような試合展開でした。あの逆転劇は、 まさに今シーズンを象徴するような瞬間だったのではないでしょうか。選手たちもこの勝利の重みをしっかりと感じています。試合後のインタビューで、今シーズンは決して楽な道のりではなかった。でも、チームメイトを信じて、ファンの皆さんと一緒に戦い続けた結果、この瞬間を迎えることができた、と語る姿には、心が熱くなりました。彼らにとって、ただ勝つことが目標ではなく、その過程でどれだけ自分を成長させ、仲間と支え合いながら戦い抜くかが何よりも重要だったのです。今日の試合のハイライトを振り返ると、本当に息を飲む瞬間の連続でした。あのホームランが決まった瞬間、ベンチから飛び出した選手たちの喜びようが全てを物語っていました。まるでワールドシリーズ優勝を決めたかのような興奮が球場全体を包み込みました。それは、チームがどれだけこの試合にかけていたか、どれだけ全員で力を合わせて戦っていたかを示す証拠です。この勝利の裏には、日々の厳しいトレーニング、悔しい敗北を乗り越えてきた努力、そして何よりも、絶対に諦めない、という強い信念があります。スポーツの世界では、時には思うようにいかないこともあります。しかし、今日のように、最後まで全力で背負い抜いた選手たちの姿を見ると、努力は決して裏切らない、ということを改めて実感します。そして、忘れてはならないのが、ファンの皆さんの存在です。この試合の雰囲気、選手たちの士気を高めたのは、間違いなく球場に駆けつけた皆さん、そして画面越しに応援してくれた皆さんのおかげです。スタンドでの大声援、SNS での熱いメッセージ、それらすべてが選手たちにとって大きな力となり、今日の勝利へとつながったのです。試合後に選手たちがファンへ向かって帽子を取り、感謝の気持ちを示していたのも印象的でした。まさに、チームとファンが一体となった瞬間でした。この勢いをそのまま次の試合へとつなげ、さらなる勝利をつかみ取りたいところです。次の試合も見逃せません。これからの戦いも一戦一戦が大きな意味を持ちます。シーズンはまだ続きますが、この調子で駆け抜け、最高の結果を手に入れましょう。ここまで熱く語りましたが、皆さんも今日の試合をどう感じましたか？この試合で最も印象に残ったプレー、応援している選手の活躍、また次の試合への期待など、ぜひコメントで教えてください。皆さんの声がチームの力となり、さらに熱い戦いを生み出します。そして、このチャンネルではこれからも試合のハイライト、選手たちのインタビュー、舞台裏のストーリーなど、様々な内容をお届けしていきます。もしまだチャンネル登録をしていない方がいたら、今すぐ登録して、これからも一緒にチームを応援しましょう。次の試合も全力で盛り上げていきましょう。